We're live. I'm back.
I feel like I should have taken my fancy gray tablecloth and done one of these. Whoosh!
Up here.
And we have a fog machine.
Yes.
Hello, everybody. How are you?
Hi.
How was your
Hello.
week? I hope it was fabulous.
Hopefully not too cold for everyone out here on the East Coast, because yes, this weekend was kind of a frigid one.
Yes, so Michael, yesterday before he headed out to the gym, he said to me, any idea what the temperature is? Because he was trying to decide if he wanted to run
Oh, to
or
run
go
out
to the
the
gym,
way. Yeah.
right? If he was going to run or go to the gym. And he looked and he said, well, yeah, I don't know, what do you think? And he showed me what he had, and we both have the Weather Channel apps, but he has it on his iTouch and I have it on my iPad. So
Yeah.
I said, how come you don't get the feels like temperature? Exactly. You probably don't know about this either. So on my iPad, when you click on it, right, you click on the forecast, you can turn it around, you click on the circle that comes up, and it gives you like the your dewy measurements and all of that, right? And then on the bottom, when you open up just the day, if you read across, it says, 22 feels like -4.
Yeah, that's how.
Because of the wind being so crazy. So, I don't know. I grew up in upstate New York, where you got into a car. Now, mind you, I've lived here almost 30 years in Manhattan, so I haven't had a car for just about that long. And as soon as you move to New York, you give up your stuff, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I was driving a car, it's not that we had to pedal it, but you had to leave your home to go out through a snowy driveway or icy driveway to sit in your car, if you can even open it, because the doors were frozen.
I've heard that,
right?
yeah.
And you've heard that, exactly.
Yeah.
And then you get in there, and then you turn it on, and you turn on your fans and your everything to warm things up. So then you run inside for another 10 minutes.
Oh, wow.
So that the windows can heat up. So that you can come out and scrape with the ice scraper and the snow brush easier than just going right to it. Right?
That was preheating technology.
Yes, my sister, years ago, I'm constantly talking about her because I love her so much. When she started this thing, I see her at her back window, I go, what are you doing? And again, this was probably 2 decades ago. I said, what are you doing? She said, turning on my car. I was like, oh, turning on your car? I mean, now the car makes phone calls and does all of this stuff for you.
Yeah.
Talk about change. That is your topic that you wanted to discuss a little bit later. But oh my goodness, change, right? So we don't have that luxury of heating up anything. We just have to go out, walk 2 blocks or 20 blocks or more, depending on what trains are deciding to run. If you're catching a bus that they put in place of a train that you discover once you get to the train, it's chaos. It's chaos, I tell you, people.
Well, I think when it's this cold already, and then there is a wind chill, and that means, of course, there's winds are blowing from somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh,
and,
yes.
So you definitely are going to be aware after a while where they're blowing.
Yesterday I told him, and the winds are coming out of the northwest. So
And that's
he was
what I
trying to
felt.
think of, how can I walk to the gym?
To be least affected by it.
What building?
Tell you when the wind blows in your face and it feels like -5 and -10, it's a different story.
Right.
My mustache yesterday when we took our dog for a walk was frozen.
Right.
And that was interesting. I just was like, wait a minute, what's going on?
But you're still here, you made it.
I'm alive. I'm not sick because I made sure I bundled.
There was a test, there was New York
It's
City.
more about
You have
touching
to
germy
adapt.
stuff.
Finest test.
Germy stuff.
Yes,
It's more
yes,
about
yes.
touching germy stuff. So yeah, you gotta wash your hands whenever you're in and out.
But I definitely adjusted, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Change.
That's the thing, change. It's 2019, Joseph, and what do I call it the year of?
The year of let's just do it.
Oh my gosh, I've been
I'm
saying
blanking
it
right
every
now.
day.
I know.
It's the year of?
It's the year of whatever.
Whatever.
Oh my goodness, it's like I have 2 husbands, because when you marry someone.
It's the year of why not.
Thank you.
I was just kidding, of course,
It's
because
course you would.
Somebody was paying attention, and
Someone paid
and
attention
of
and
course
clapped.
Joy was playing along very nicely.
And you
it's
know
the year
too.
of
It's the year of why not?
Why not? Why
You
not?
know?
Why not?
And
Yeah.
that's what's come out of our discussion of
Yeah.
this. So, first of all, I think we've been doing this since like end of August, beginning of September.
Yeah.
Right? I think this is our 15 talk.
weeks of
I
Tuesday
know.
talks.
Whoosh! It just
That
kind
was
of
what
flew
it
by,
did. It
right?
did. I mean, I've almost been here for a year,
I
which is
know.
freaking me
I
out.
know. It's crazy.
Time is ticking.
It's crazy. Our LA baby over here, and
I'm no more LA. I don't feel like
I
it.
know. But you saved it in your email.
Oh yes.
Your Cal guy, California guy.
It'll always be
But we've been picking up more and more people who have been watching this, and
Yeah.
so I think it may be a good time to reintroduce ourselves, perhaps.
Well,
right?
yeah.
So
Yeah, let's do it.
we are coming at you every week from Midoma, and Midoma is a compilation of 3 names. M-I for Michael. The M-A on the end is for myself, Mariana, and the D-O in the middle is for our beloved Dominic, who looks over us. I look up to the disco ball.
Look at the lights.
rotating
Well, I have
disco
a
ball.
feeling he's dancing.
Dominic.
He's dancing up there somewhere.
He's dancing the tarantella. Let's give thumbs up to Dominic dancing the tarantella in the wherever we go when we're done on this plane.
An amazing man. I had the pleasure to meet.
Yes, well, he was your father-in-law for several years before he relocated, as we like to say, because we feel his presence quite often.
Yes.
In the form
Especially
of lights
here.
flickering. Yes, so that's where Midoma comes from. And again, this is Michael, partner and husband, and Mariana, myself. And then this guy is...
I'm Joey, and I just joined on to the team in August of last year, and I'm
Sometimes you're Joseph James.
or Joseph James when I'm not doing something right. Just
You
like
always do
No.
something right.
It's more to get my attention.
Yes. It's like
a-
mom,
Exactly.
mom, Mariana.
And always the moms, if they call me Joseph James, I do respect it. So I love it.
Well, you hear it
It's
in the
cute.
crowd, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So yeah, I came here and now as a stylist, and hopefully with this year of all these things coming on, we're going to be doing more and more.
Oh my
I've
gosh.
changed since I've started here. I feel, I've been involved in a lot of things that I really wanted to do, you
Yeah.
know, and I'm going to be doing more, you know.
Yeah. So you've picked up some photo shoots.
Yeah, by reaching out just on Instagram to sitting here, thinking about ways to market myself and to grow myself, because us as hairstylists, when we get into this business, we understand, we
Your
have
chair is your business.
it's our business, we control that, and a lot of times when you go into salons, like, you have to be motivated to do that, and I'm motivated. That's why I came to New York. I didn't come here to just sit around and expect someone to do something for me, because that's not what you do when you get in this industry. It's a hustler's mentality.
Right.
And so what I did, just going on Instagram, researching, different modeling agencies, different photographers, different models even, and just kind of put my word out there of looking for work and wanting to share my creative ideas, and a couple people have responded to it.
Yes.
That's amazing.
And-
I think it's to be a self initiator. I think
Yes.
it's very
But you
important.
have to do that because
And-
your business is your business,
Yeah,
right?
and also take advantage of any platform that you can be part of.
And be willing to adapt to it, right?
And adapt to it
Change.
and take what works for you.
Exactly.
Right? And don't leave anything out. I mean, look around you and see who's there and what can I do, and be focused and just go after this or
Exactly.
that, in a focused way.
Well, and sometimes going on with that too, I would say almost don't say no to jobs a lot of times, even when you're starting, because you never know what you're going to gain from it.
There's
Well,
a
it's
great
the year-
Liza Minnelli song. that she-
Well, it's the year of why
Look it
not.
up. Just
Instead
say
of like,
yes.
instead of saying yes or no, it's like why not?
Why not? Exactly. Why
Why
not?
not?
Why not?
Because you never know what you're going to get from it. Even if
Right.
it's a free job or something, you get that experience. And
Experience also gains exposure.
exactly.
Because the more that you're out there and you're active in anything, again, going back to my actor kids, when I came up, I didn't have any training, right?
Uh-huh.
and I started as an usher in a theater. My fabulous godparents took me to a production of a community theater in Syracuse, New York, because they had an extra ticket.
Mm-hmm.
And their son was at a summer camp, and they took me because they took me a lot of places. They kind of adopted me fully into their family. So I would do all sorts of fun, artistic, the Americanized things with their family, you know, like walking cemeteries or picking pussy willows off the side of the highway. I don't think we were supposed to be doing that. But, I think once I saw one production, the following week,
Mm-hmm.
I was 15. The following week, I was ushering in that theater. So it's like when you see something, you have to go after it, regardless of if they're paying you. What is it that you're going to gain? What is it that you want to do it? Do you love it? Then go for it, because the other day I was talking to you about, we tend to look at a tree when we talk about family.
Correct.
Family trees. But if we start envisioning that with everything that we do, then you see all of these fabulous things branching off. And you know what? Trees bend, right? And sometimes trees snap from the weight.
Mm-hmm.
So if a branch falls off, snaps off, then you let it go.
And you grow another.
It becomes mulch.
Mm-hmm.
And it does something else that's good for the planet, right?
Yes.
But yeah, I think with every endeavor that we're like, oh, this was so fun, and now I'm going to go do this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, you love barbering, so you also inquired about working at a barbering place while here, up the road, a little east. And by putting that energy out, look what comes in.
Branches.
You put that energy out, and we have the boys, NYC, right?
Yeah.
Modeling agency that we're working with now, who we will be getting ready for the shows coming up in February,
in
right?
this week and next week, I think.
That's right.
But it's interesting that you say that because yesterday we watched this movie.
Well, I was going to talk about that
documentary.
Yeah.
The Bill Murray, the stories of Bill Murray.
That was on
I've been
Netflix.
wanting to watch it,
Is
but
that
I'm
on
like,
Netflix?
yes, it is on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
And they had a little story within the story where basically somebody some things happen to this farmer.
Mm-hmm.
And repeatedly, good or bad, and he always says in response, yeah, I don't know what it's good for. And the moral of the story is that you don't know what it's good for. Even something bad can be, later on and happen for a reason, for something good. And something good, can come. Of course, in the end, you don't know.
Correct.
And you just gotta go with it. Whatever you do, everything
Right,
is
I think
connected.
that's the moral of the
Everything
story.
is
It's just
connected.
kind of
Just go with it.
Go with it. Something else is coming.
Accept
it's bringing
it.
you to something else. It's
But
bringing
as
you to
long
the
as-
next phase.
One thing with that, as long as your intentions are there for going with that, because
Right.
another documentary I watched actually talking about the fire festival, that disaster where the guy got all these investors and tried to put this whole fantasy out there, but his intentions were mainly not there.
Right.
His intentions were in another venue, and so of course that's where things can crumble with that. So you got to make sure your intentions are pure and from the heart, and doing this to bring together people, not just for your own selfish.
Which is why you're going to watch the Bill Murray.
Yes.
documentary.
Yes.
Because the one thing they say about him, right, is go ahead. I don't want to take the words out of your mouth.
No,
I'm very passionate.
The one thing they say about him is that he brings joy to people wherever he goes.
See, I love that.
And despite the fact that he's such a big celebrity, such a fine actor, and that's something that is very unique.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In-
I mean,
in
we
a-
should all be the light for others, right?
Yes.
There's a little indirect Midoma Bill Murray connection now, or at least in the works, thanks to our current artist Karin Bruckner, who will be introduced on Groundhog Day. This will be a Meet the Artist reception.
Bill Murray.
That's right.
And we will be watching, whoever wants to stay after the reception, we will be screening Groundhog Day. Of
Yay!
course, with
Over
Tilbury.
and over and over again.
It's very fitting because Colin's show is titled On Repeat. Perfect.
That's right. That's beautiful.
I thought it was very, with good sense of humor.
Yes. Well, again, she's a character, aren't you, Karen?
taking full advantage of the times.
That's right. You got to look at the calendar, go with it. You make a story around it, but it's
That's right.
But it's real.
Yes.
I mean, we could give a state of the industry address today, but we are not. we reserved it for another Tuesday when we really have all the information that we need for that address.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
All right. So what else?
Well, we're talking. I know that we were going to be doing some seminars coming up.
Yes, through Evolve, we've got some seminars.
Our partnership with Evolve is evolving.
We have some dates.
It's evolving. It's getting stronger, and I think as of this point, there are 3 definite seminars scheduled. One post is out, this morning was given out, so that's one seminar that you can look into.
And that one's in
Kevin Murphy, that's an April seminar. Go to Evolve Salon Systems or go to
our Instagram,
James.
and you can have a link.
Jimmy Saloni. It's on the post.
He's tagged it.
He's tagged. He has all the information for tickets and everything else.
Okay, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm sorry, people. I'm just on that age thing, right? So if I say to Jimmy James, go ahead and post something, and then how do our people they don't get to see it? It's not like a Facebook when I used to do that.
I have seen he does tag us in it, and you can go to our Instagram and go to the tag portion
Whoever
of
mentioned
the post, and it will show where.
Okay, so Jimmy James, please go ahead and do that about the classes that you know, the information, the dates, the times, whatever they need to do. Our technicians out there who want to join in, because those 3 are all on Mondays, and I think there's
Mondays,
February.
I think open to
February, March, April, or I don't know. There's like one a month. I don't know if we skip a month or not.
Space is very limited. We do have a lot of space, but still, space
But I
is
think for the
limited.
class, as far as the class goes, too, it's not an overwhelming gathering. You know, I think.
But it is favorable.
Yes, exactly.
So we're going to learn more about Kevin Murphy, cutting and color techniques. So
right, the first one they have coming up, I don't know if there's any room, is...
it's a color seminar.
Yes.
Yeah. Kevin Murphy Color Seminar.
That's right. That's February 18th, I believe. That's a Monday.
Very exciting. I can't wait.
Yes.
It's going to be a busy time in the salon.
That's right.
Get the energy going. Let's go.
I mean, look what's happened with color over the last few years. You know, it's kind of like the pants when everyone was wearing their pants down behind the backs of their thighs. And you're like, isn't that? At first, it's interesting, right? And then you're like, when is this going to end? When is this going to end? Because we were just seeing more and more. Yeah, when's it going to evolve? And now with these colors, you kind of think, well, when is it going to end? When it first started. But now it's catching on, and the tones are not just for your grunge kids anymore.
No.
You've got people, little tiny kids, with streaks in their hair of magenta or fuchsia to, when I was young, we used to say, blue-haired old ladies, which turned into purple-haired old ladies.
Exactly.
Now I am an old lady. I've had every color under the sun, many at the same time. But now when I see older women also sporting these beautiful, beautiful tones. So I personally hope those colors don't go anywhere. They're still hard to kind of maintain. So I think if we, and again, I'm not speaking for all the lines out there, but if we have some really good, easy to work with, I know the conditioners helped me when I was doing magenta on the Rocky Horror Show. I know that I had a nice, rich red tone, which helped keep it in the red family for me while I was away. So I think the conditioners are really helpful for your layman, right?
Well, and the formulas are actually getting better now, and that's the thing that with it being such a popular thing right now, that's why I noticed with Kevin Murphy jumping in and doing their stuff. Other lines too that I've seen, they're getting better and better. Let's just keep going that way.
Yeah.
That's right.
I also think that with these fashion colors, sometimes you have to be a little bit into the idea that the color itself is changing.
Yes.
And as you go through the lifetime of it, which is something that if you wanted this to be the same all the time, it's hard.
Yes.
So you have to be open to that, to different colors, it changing. And sometimes we see colors, right, evolving into something that you can't even make.
Nope, it's just like art.
It just has to be worn.
Yep.
It has to be lived and experienced, and then you get those colors. And it's amazing what you see.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know performers who said they don't shampoo their hair more than once a month.
Yeah, I know some people.
You know.
When you
Now,
want to keep that
you
certain
have to
color.
have- yes, when you're performing and you're on the road and you're not on a superstar level and you don't have a posse to be able to touch you and work with you while you're answering your emails
It
and
has
such.
to be just
It
so.
has
right?
to be
Yeah.
just so. You want it to be just so. It's expected to be just so from your fans. That's what you have to do. You know, what are you willing to do for it? So yeah, all of you manufacturers out there, hear us. You know, we don't want it to necessarily, it has to be workable, right? Because if you, let's go back to standard highlights, when you highlight someone's hair and then you tone their hair. You can go a little deeper, you can bring it up a little bit more. If it's not quite where you want it or where the client is happiest, right? You can alter that. So I'm not saying we want a red that sticks because, and you can't ever get it out or get it to budge. But to be able to, you know, not shampoo your hair for a couple of days, that's what I always used to do, and just let it set. It was a mental thing for me where I was like, okay, well maybe if I don't shampoo for 2 days, it'll really grab on. But then as soon as you shampoo your hair, even if it's cold water, it just whoosh, even color safe. You know, some colors just disappear. And this has always been the case. This is not just now, it's always been the case. So going forward, yes, it still needs to be workable, right?
And
so if you need to be able to budget this way or that way if you're in the general family, but you also don't want your toners and don't want your fashion colors to go down the drain after so much work, and you and your client are so happy, and then 2 days later you've got to already adjust to the change.
Well, that's what I'm saying. You have to change your routine in order to adapt to what you want.
Yeah,
to be.
But the colors themselves, I think, manufacturers out there, they're really beautiful, and I'd like to see them stay. So let's keep trying to advance that.
Yeah, well, as we speak, you know, in all these labs, there is more research, there's more testing, millions and millions of dollars being spent on still making this any color better, because they do still need to be better.
Yes.
There's still room.
Yes. Well, as long as there's a need,
There's
there
a
will
need.
always be
There's a need.
stuff going on.
We see it every day. There's only so much we can do in order for the colors to stay as perfect as they should, and everything else, I think, you know, would have to come from this research and new technology, just to make it easier. So it's easier to maintain, or easier to apply, easier to gauge when you are a colorist and you want to go from point A to point B. How do I get there, and what is available to me?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly.
And any other change that we have coming up? I mean, I think I've invited our very own Raphael to come here and be with us. I don't think he ever actually hears me when I say the platform is open to him, because he was recently certified in extensions.
Extension certified. So
Which I'm sporting a few here that are just fun and
Calico.
yeah,
I love
because well, years ago in 2010, you know, my hair was really, really, really long, and I had the V thing going on, and I had to cut my hair up to be able to achieve the look that I needed for the show, and I said, don't cut it all, I need one. So I had this really long tail that I had to pin curl up every night. And I kind of got used to that, you know, my little security blanket. So he put it in and he said, you're playing with it, aren't you, boss? You're playing with it at the desk, and I am. So this is kind of, you know,
Which technique
our
is
own
that?
little test.
Do you know do you remember the company?
It's it is a fusion
Fusion.
extension. So it is not taped in, it's not sewn
It begins
in.
with an app. It was like so.
It's
so
a little glue
So
that you
so-
kind of fuse
I don't
into
know
the
that.
hair.
What?
But I don't remember
Yeah.
what the name of the company
I'm sorry,
is.
Raphael. So you're gonna have to
Yeah.
come and you're gonna have to
You
talk
need
about
to
it.
talk about that.
Yes. And
But
we
we'll
know you're
expose you.
Because if you are a performer, if you are somebody who needs to have long hair,
Different change.
for
Yes.
a minute or for longer,
Yeah.
needs more hair,
Yeah.
the illusion of more hair, that might be something to look into.
Right.
It is safer, I do know, because it doesn't pull out hair as much and it doesn't break hair as much as the other extensions.
Again,
So,
whatever we do,
Yeah.
there are consequences, but we
Always.
always try to.
the least
Yeah.
amount.
Yeah, I
And
mean,
of
a
damage.
good hairdresser, wherever you are, the main thing that they should be after is maintaining the
Health.
integrity of your hair. So
That's why we do the
if
consult.
you cannot have what you are requesting, they should stand up and tell you, I can't do that, or I'm not comfortable doing that. And
Or at
this
least
is
educate
why.
you on
Right.
why.
And this is why.
Yeah. We're in the same mental thing.
Communication.
Well,
It's
because
key.
we care.
Yeah,
We
it's
love
key.
our craft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to just do this just to make people for the look or whatever. No, I'm doing this because it's going to change someone's life. You know, I didn't get into hairdressing, as I said, when we first did this,
Yeah.
to just do hair. I did it because I couldn't be a doctor because I can't deal with certain things. But, you know, at least with this, I could feel like I helped someone, you know?
And you do makeup as well.
Yes.
And makeup over the last, I don't even know how many years, but the first person that I remember taking a stand against it, kind of, although I don't want to misspeak. Some people are so literal these days, so hear me out. Alicia Keys,
Mhm.
when she's just started showing her beautiful
Her bare face.
bare face, right?
Mhm.
And I mentioned something last week or 2 weeks ago about the little girl and the father, whoever was taking the pictures, and I said,
Yes.
I hope everyone realizes the
way
beauty
to
that we
school.
all have. You know, we're all really special. And what is perfect?
Mm-hmm. There
Right?
is.
I mean, how do you define perfect? What, the space between your eyes, or the eyes to the forehead, or the nose, like this perfection? Nah. You know, what is perfect? But we have to realize that we are who we are, and we are perfect. And I've heard through the grapevine of some people who have been in the spotlight, who have been bombarded. I would say kind of bordering harassment, and maybe some people in there who've experienced it would say harassed, by people who push, I would say it's probably a bigger percentile women, to maintain a certain glow, youthful appearance, collagen,
A certain
boobs
vision
where
of
they
what
started,
other people want. Yeah.
and I don't think that's right. I think if it's coming from within you, and you really want that, then you should go for that.
Yeah.
I think if you understand the consequences, you know, it's like that chorus line song that I sang so poorly at our karaoke night, that was thrown at me out of nowhere, right?
Yes.
It's like, so
If you want to
I
be
think
an
you should
actor,
transfer to Girls High. You'll never be an
An
actress,
actress,
never. Jesus Christ, right? That's like her reaction.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean never? You're one person. You're one producer. You're one director. You're one city. You're one
One
theater.
opinion.
You're one show, right? Whatever it is. So know who you are. Understand that I love makeup. I love makeup. I remember when I was a teen and my mom made me, I said, Mom, can you make me this costume out of this sheet? And it was a Harlequin, and I won a contest. And I never won anything,
Mhm.
you know? I'm still, I don't really win. I'm not that person, right? My mom, she's a winner. So she makes me this thing. She probably won, really, not me. It was her costume. But when I put the white face on and I started drawing the lines on my face and I saw myself for the first time, I think that's when I was like, wow, you know, these little things come up and you get this little spark. So I think women are people, are beautiful. However you want to be. Dark circles, crooked teeth, big nose, you know, I embrace that that's who I am. Although I love what makeup does and what that brings up and out of someone.
Yeah.
So what you do, I think, along with being able to do someone's hair, and I see it a lot, you know, when people talk to me, they say, well, I got him in this because I like making people feel beautiful. I like having them look in the mirror and saying, wow, this is awesome. I need to go out on a date now, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when you can give them a special glow as well, that's great. You don't need it. You can go out, fresh out of bed to your favorite bagel place with nothing on your face and be just as in love with the world as you are with a full face of makeup and curls in your hair that bounce when you walk. You know, let's take accountability and say, you know what? I hear you, and I think those are your thoughts, but I don't need that today.
Yeah.
I don't need to wear eyeliner today. But what I think we should all focus on, homework, is smiling.
I think the true
Yes.
the true self, right, should still be
Shine through. a little
should still be something that you want.
bit. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, me doing makeup, whenever I'm doing makeup, when I see flaws, that's the individual, or not that what society says is flaws, let's say that, because I know I don't see flaws, I see individual.
Right.
You know, and that's what distinguishes you from the next person by you, because if we all look the same, we're robots,
it's-
and I'm not a robot, sorry.
It's a uniform.
Yeah,
It's
and
an army of the same.
yeah,
Right.
and the reason
And
why this world is better is because we have.
We want to really work with the individual, personalize it, bring out any feature that which makes you.
That may, yeah,
Look
they
at
may
the
think that
supermodels, the mole.
the mole, bigger nose, wider forehead.
That's right.
You know, Tyra Banks always talks about her big forehead, but you know, it's those things that make you distinct from someone else and may make you, people look at you even more of a goddess or something, you know, but that's not what the goal is. The goal is to be yourself,
Right.
you know.
Embrace who you are, be comfortable in your own skin.
Be daring.
Yes.
Be daring. We dare you.
So we dare you to smile.
Is that a D-A-R-E or is that a D-E-R in German, Michael?
Well, in German,
Dare
it's-
you?
it-
Is that how you say dare?
No, no, no.
Dare Wiener Schnitzel?
No.
So, yeah.
In
I'd say,
closing,
In closing, I'd say that still behind us, 2019, we know already a little bit of what 2019 is, right?
the year of why not?
It's exciting. Every day that goes by, we know a little bit more about this year. So, yeah, I think it's time to
Set up shop.
get to it, get creative, do some hair,
Yay!
set up some good projects for the coming days, maybe
Mhm.
for even next weekend. Working with Troy, a photographer who approached us with some interesting ideas.
Mhm.
Yep.
So let's discuss it. Let's see if
And
that
we'll
works.
probably talk about that next Tuesday.
That's
and
right.
then we can hopefully talk about the next Tuesday already, including Fashion Week and,
Yes.
and the boys and all of our other collaborations.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you folks, you gotta go over and shut us down.
Yes, I am.
But what was homework again?
Homework,
What was homework?
is smile.
Always smile. It will change someone's life when you smile. I really do feel that.
Yeah.
Everyone have a good day.
Bye.